where we left off, guys, you're in Barovia in the Amber Temple. You have recently lost a member of your party to a shadowy figure in the mists, who seemed to pour into the temple and snatch away Moreau. Um, since then, you have discovered that there are undead somewhere to the northwest of the temple, on an upper floor. You have scouted out a few extra rooms, broken and mended a statue, um, snuck past an amber golem guarding some treasure, and fought some vampire spawn. The last thing that happened as this battle ended is the particularly powerful entities in the three amber sarcophagi in this room seem to draw the attention of three of your party members, two of which was soundly rejected, and one of which, well, Teffel said yes. And now, taking on a different visage, turns around from the amber sarcophagus in front of you to reveal a half bone and sinew appearance. Now, they look undead almost, but only for half of their appearance. In terms of how they stand, how they move, they seem completely fine and healthy, but what appears before you is a very grotesque and pretty scary view. So, with that being said, that is where we left off. How are you guys reacting to this?
I feel like Lavender would kind of put a hand up as if to gesture, nobody move any further. Devil, as much as I would like to congratulate you on your new makeover, can I just make sure that it's still you in there? Devil?
What do you mean? I feel great.
Can you not
Feel empowered.
Didn't you feel anything? Are you in pain?
Well, I felt something, but I don't. No, I definitely don't feel any pain. I feel changed, but not in a bad way.
That's not an illusion, is it?
Does it
What are you
flash up
talking about?
Give me an investigation check, please.
Sure. Natural 20.
Holy shit.
25.
You
That
can,
is how I want my rolls to start now, please. Thank you.
you can tell this is definitely not an illusion. There's a very subtle whiff of decaying corpse now coming from Teffel. When every now and again part of like the sinew and dried blood drips from part of Teffel's face, it hits the floor and it stays there. It is definitely not an illusion.
Right, okay. So it is actually... Oh, right. What exactly? Did something speak to you? I know that these things... Nobody get too close unless you want to get zombified. I know that these things kind of try to get in my head. Did something speak to you, Devil?
Yeah, I mean, it's a gift. I feel, like I said, I feel empowered. I'm not sure in what way, and why are you all acting so strange?
I don't think I have anything like a mirror. Is there any like reflective surfaces?
Yes, a small mirror. Kia brings one from the
If you
pocket.
have something, Tia, that they should see.
Do you wanna tell them I'm not very comfortable with this.
I mean, I think they look lovely, but it's personal opinion. Lavender will pass the mirror to Teffel.
Oh dear God, I'm hideous.
No, it's really not that bad.
I'll
They
start
will
like
come, seriously.
feeling it and like seeing the like pieces of my face kind of fall off in my hand.
You know what they say, Teffel? It's what's inside that counts. It doesn't matter that we can see them. But listen, it's really not that bad.
Can you tattoo the face back on or something?
Tattoo my face back on.
It's not like
I mean, I know I'm
not
an
really.
amateur artist, but I don't think that's how tattoos fucking work.
I don't know how
I'm
it works.
literally sinew and bone. I've never tattooed directly onto a bone before. Oh my god. I'm starting to have doubts about this agreement I've made.
What agreement was it? Like, what did they offer
They
you?
just offered a gift.
What gift?
Well, it sounded attractive at the time, but now I'm second guessing myself. But the thing is, it seemed like there'd be nothing to lose to agree. I asked about like a price because it did seem, even in my stupor, too good to be true. But
And did you say stupor? Did you feel coerced or pressured into this
well,
gift
it
in any
just
way?
seemed attractive, and
Well, what did?
they
What is the gift?
well, I don't know. I was like I said, I was kind of in a daze. All I remember is, well, they talked about my past. They you guys might not know a lot about me yet, but I essentially lost everyone that I've known, and this entity or whatever it is seemed to know about that, and it appealed to me at the time. Now I'm not sure if I've been cursed or blessed. I feel fine, but I clearly don't look it.
I mean, like I say, don't put yourself down. I'm sure you can rock it. Does it hurt you though?
No, it doesn't hurt, right, Matt?
It does not hurt at all.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice it had happened until you guys started acting weird.
Could I not act weird?
I mean, I think you look sick. So
I mean, yes, two interpretations, I would say.
Maybe I'll be more intimidating. Dragonborns have a quite intimidating presence already. Maybe I can use it to my advantage.
Well,
I just feel like more of a monster now than ever before.
not at all. You're more of a test subject, really. I mean, in many ways, it's good that you've accepted whatever this place has to offer you. Just let us know if you feel any different, right?
I'm starting to doubt if I even got the gift I was promised. What if this entity has entered me in some foul way?
Well, at least you're tied together, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'll let you know if anything changes.
I'm not sure what they offered you, but
They said
why
I
not
could bring my family back. They said I could bring everyone I've ever known back. Maybe I could even bring Moreau back.
That's what it offered you? The gift of everyone you loved returned?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds a bit silly to say it out loud now, but at the time, it seemed legit.
Where are they now?
Well, they're dead.
No, I mean, where were they before they were dead? Maybe they're back there already.
Who are you talking about exactly?
The people who you've lost. Who
My
they promised to
clan.
bring back.
Well, I don't know where their remains are now. I assume they're still in our town. There was no burial or anything like that, and I fled.
Well, I'm quite used to, deals with the devils, as they say, like I say. Just keep us updated if anything starts to speak with you. Perhaps we can find where you're from after all this and see if they kept their part of the bargain.
Sounds good to me.
You
I do feel a bit nauseous looking at myself, though. Put that mirror away, please.
Oh, sure. Tyr, would you like this back?
Yeah, I'll take it back.
Hands it back.
Matt, can I drop a divine sense?
You can.
Does Tefel come up as celestial fiend or undead, or are there any more around here?
They do not. However, you do detect undead to your west.
To the west.
Specifically west at a 45-degree angle up.
Oh, like above us.
Yeah.
Okay. Nifsira kind of like very sweaty and a bit woozy, just kind of goes, luckily you're not coming up as undead. But there is something above us. But more importantly, Tefel, did you say that your your clan is all dead and that you fled? What happened?
Well, I don't know if this is the appropriate time or place to get into the intricacies. We've got a mission to attend to, but that's kind of why I'm here with you all. I'm trying to get to the bottom of that mystery myself.
Nifsira walks forward, and goes in for a hug, just to give you a hug. And as she does so, she just kind of goes, "I'm really sorry, Tefel, for your loss." And she as she pulls back, she just looks at you. She just goes, "They'll be in my prayers tonight for you."
I will awkwardly accept the hug. And rummage around for some kind of cloth or something that I can make a sort of makeshift cowl or something to sort of hide my face.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for not running away screaming. That's what I would have done if I saw myself.
Oh, plenty of people run away screaming from me, but it doesn't affect what I think. You look lovely, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Personally, I'd really like to run away, but I'm attached. So can I find somebody else, please? You can see Mordenkainen's face is like wide-eyed and very unsure.
As Mordecai says that, Thog's just gonna like pretend to wipe a tear away from her eye and be like, "It's just like when Rakeen was here."
That's a stupid name.
That's what we said. But you can tell she's joking.
Alright,
I'll tug on the rope and be like, well, you're stuck with it just like I am.
Lovely.
You're not going anywhere.
Providing Devil feels okay and nobody else fancies getting zombified, we can press on. Are we sensing some undead upstairs? So perhaps more of the same?
Yeah, there's I can't tell what type, but there is
Is everyone feeling
undead
alright to go?
up there, 45 degrees. I think it might be the same one that I sensed earlier on in the other tunnel bit. Upstairs, downstairs, was it?
Upstairs, yeah.
And if Sarah just kind of puts a hand on one of the remains of the boxes, if there's any, and just kind of steadies herself for a second, and is just like, whew. Right. Are we... Are you good, Teffel? Are you okay?
Well, yeah, like I said, physically, I feel fine.
Okay.
Have we, just because I am missing bits of last session, have we generally searched this room for anything of note other than the sarcophagi in these boxes?
No, the boxes all exploded as the
things came out.
came out.
So are there any like remnants of them inside of these boxes, or any clues as to where they might come
That's a
from?
question for Matt.
Yeah, that's what
Sorry.
Lavender.
Sorry, it was just see what
So she'll go over and just give them all a once over, and the whole room, just
Okay.
looking around, not getting too close to the sarcophagi.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure. Oh, that's not good. 22.
Looking over everything. Give me one second, let me just check. You do not find anything else of note down here. The wood from the crates, giving it a once over, it doesn't seem as old as everything else in here. It's definitely a lot. These boxes have been placed here a lot more recently than anything else in the temple. Evidenced by the fact that they were still in one piece, basically. But other than that, there are just these amber sarcophagi in here.
Okay. Well, nothing of note left behind. I think these were brought in a little sooner than everything else. It's, the look of it has fallen to bits, but these seem more recent. So, do you think perhaps Strahd or associates were shipping them in?
Maybe. Does that sound like something that Strahd would do, Thog?
Either protecting something or amassing, perhaps. Anyway, sounds like there's more of them upstairs, so let's go
From
ahead.
the little bit we know about Strahd, doesn't seem like there's much he wouldn't do. Well, the same could be said for Lilalia.
Well, everybody be on guard. There's just one source upstairs, so I'm not sure what it is, but we just keep your wits about you.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Sneaky sneak.
If you want to sneaky sneak, then can I have a stealth check from everybody as you ascend these stairs?
Oh,
Jesus, wept.
hey, I've rolled like dog shit for weight, so. Oh, you've got my luck apparently.
You know what? This makes perfect sense, though. Narratively, this is brilliant.
Right, stealth gun. Mine's a 19, Matt.
Cool.
I've got a 4, Matt.
Nice, good to know.
Yeah.
12.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Okay. I'll roll for Thug.
Has anybody rode for
Well-
Mornikainen?
That's not 20 wasted.
Modern kind of.
Oh God, we fucked this, didn't we?
Mordenkainen got a 3.
Oh, we fucked this.
We
So,
should have stayed behind.
Yeah.
I will throw you over to the other map as you guys ascend the stairs.
Clank.
Clank, clank, clankety, clank, clanky,
Yeah.
clank, clank.
Not the quietest you guys have ever moved. Especially on the marble floor here, there's the odd clang or bang of armor or heavy boot. But as you ascend this spiral staircase, you can see that in front of you there is a stone library that has 20-foot high walls and a 30-foot high vaulted ceiling. Covering the ceiling is a fresco that depicts angels being set ablaze in hell. A black marble railing encloses a gold marble staircase that you're currently on, and against the grey walls stand 6 10-foot tall black marble bookcases. On their shelves are hundreds of well-preserved tomes. Embroidered rugs, chairs, and lit candelabras fill the southern half of the room.
Well, this is different.
Is him?
We're not on the
Oh,
map
we're
yet.
not.
Am I seeing
Yeah.
books? Yeah, I would love to go closer to all of those shelves full of
How long is your set?
nice looking readables.
Do I see the point of divine sense, Matt?
You do not know.
Ooh.
Right.
How long does it last?
It's just like a once round of a sonar.
There, then, yeah. No.
Yeah, it's just
There
it's
is no
until my
individual
next
in
turn.
this room.
As
I
Tia
would
begins
like-
to rush off, Nisura will go, I can't see whatever pinged up, but there's definitely something here. Just be careful.
Okay. Now I already rushed off to look for different kind of books and tomes.
Okay.
That's mine. Sorry, go on.
Are you looking for anything in particular, Tia?
Nope. Just gonna look for anything that's interesting at the moment, whether it's a history, technology, or some kind
Okay.
of ancient magic that used to construct, or someone who's making the models of the castle and etc.
Okay.
Oh, and on the other note, something related to what might have happened to Tefl.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Perception.
Nice.
Ten.
You scan one bookshelf, and then you scan another, and another, and another. All the tomes are very varied. Very varied in decoration and in age, all perfectly preserved, but they're all sorts of sizes. There's a few scrolls lying around. Everything looks basically like a very ancient library that's very well preserved. However, looking from bookshelf to bookshelf, not a single book has any kind of title or writing on the covers.
Is this? I don't know. Tia hasn't said anything yet. Sorry, go on.
Is anything of a magical nature?
Yeah. I was going to say, is anything illusionary? Illusionary.
You drop it into detect magic.
Yeah.
Cool. You can tell that every single book is doused in illusion magic.
Okay. These books are made to be hidden. Be careful, don't touch anything, because I can't tell you what they are, but I can tell you they're covered in illusion magic.
What do you mean? There's one of the books or similar books in Tia's hand, if that's allowed.
Oh no! Well, I guess you picked one up and nothing bad happened. Does it open?
I would like to, hearing what Lavender said, I would like to put it on the ground and then take a stick to prod it first.
Okay, nothing happens when you prod it.
I'll open it.
Okay, you open it and the page is blank.
My true is my true sight still up? No, it's dropped. Never mind.
I would like to
Sorry, that
open
was-
another one to see if there's something on there.
You open another one.
Mhm.
Again, all blank pages.
Wait, no, hang on. Does it last for an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, is Lavender's. I don't know how long it's been since
It is not up.
it's not up.
No. But anytime you guys are like stood in the corridor discussing things, that's in game time as well.
Can you
And
drop another
that
one?
time has elapsed.
No? Have you got any spell slots left?
I do, but I also have the wand. I also have closer gaze. Whatever's.
Right, the one just does secret tunnels though and stuff. It's not going to help us with books.
No.
The one doesn't reveal secrets in general. It just does secret tunnels.
Yeah. Yes. In which case.
If what you said are true,
No, it's once per long rest.
What is?
and all of these
Oh,
books
is it?
are empty,
They're empty.
then from my deduction, that means that these books are not meant to be read by just anyone. Which means if you say they are illusion, then I will have a deduction that they are made invisible for anyone who doesn't have the right to read them.
Are they even books? I mean, they could be hiding something else as well.
Yes, that's true. It could be anything.
It didn't attack me, at least.
Matt, can I, from here, do a scan of the room slowly and see if I can look out for any kind of, like, anything that kind of seems off about it, like it. I don't trust the room.
I'll also look around for any kind of like hidden arcane symbols or anything like that.
Yeah, and like any sort of movement that I can see that would be like indicative of like somebody invisible or something invisible like moving around.
Well, Lavender does have a detect magic up.
She does.
Just bear that in mind. Give me perception checks, both of you.
Tia is just very dejected on the fact that there's no books to read.
At 10 for me.
18.
Okay. With a 10, you don't see anything out of place in this era. It looks like an old library. A very well decorated one, but it still looks like an old library. Lavender, just having a scan around the room, you don't see anything particularly out of place. Nothing that strikes you as odd or would put doubt in your mind, except for the fact that you realize you've got your detect magic up, and as you've been in other rooms with illusions, you can tell that the like the dining room, the flames that lit that room were magical. You get no magical signatures from the candles that are lit in this room, which means someone, at least reasonably recently, has had these candles lit.
To discover this, she'll kind of you watch as Lavender zones in on one of the candles, and she'll just reach her hand out, put her finger in the wax, and then she like tastes it. And she's like, "These candles were lit recently. They're not magical. Means someone has been here." There's nobody invisible. Could there? She doesn't come across any like false flooring or walling or anything like that someone could have slipped through, or anything on the side of the bookshelves.
What do you think about the books? We could potentially put something. There could be a secret trigger or something.
Yeah, see if any of them move, something like that.
Okay.
Uh,
Give me.
uh,
If, go on.
I would like to proceed to pull all the books on the lower half of the bookshelf. Because I can't reach.
Okay. If you're both doing this, one of you give me investigation advantage, or both of you can roll, up to you.
My investigation is quite good.
Not nice. Why not just double up?
Sure. 18 again.
22.
Okay. Lavender, you're not noticing anything different to before, even now with like a more specific search. Tia, as you're moving around the room, focusing on pulling books off, as you dart between bookcases, you realize something's off about some of the walls in here. Something that Lavender's clearly not quite seen. As you notice that ever so slightly out of sync with the wall and with removed dust around the bottom, there are two hidden doors in the walls of this room. One to the west and one to the south.
Nice.
I point this out to Lavender. You must have seen this already. You must be testing me, aren't you?
Good work, dear. Of course I'd seen them. I was just seeing how long it would, take you to find them. Do you want to take one each? Or should we stick together?
I think we should stick together with this one.
Sorry, Tia, say that again.
I think we should stick together with this one.
Okay. Walking up to this one. Liam, you can just move it there.
Sure.
Looking through, sort of listening on to the secret door. Can I hear anything on the other side?
Give me a perception check
I would like to help.
It's a
with
none.
advantage.
There you go.
Do you want
Roll
to
again?
roll your one, Tia?
Sure.
Mine wasn't great.
Okay.
Nice.
It's very faint, Tia, but you can, for a second, hear like a muffled thud coming from the west behind this door.
There's a footsteps. That doesn't seem, a thud. It sounds like something hitting the ground. Could be footsteps, could be something heavy.
Nith,
But it's quite
get
distant.
over here.
Nif leaps off the banister, summons a sword, lands next to you. 3-point superhero mount. 3-point superhero landing.
Show off.
I hope you didn't break your knee. Those landings might hurt a lot.
I feel like we need an acrobatics check, please.
It wasn't that strenuous. I'll allow that to just
21. 21.
Fair enough.
Are your senses tingling?
What are you asking me right now?
They were dead on the other side of this door.
I don't know. I can't see through the door.
But can't you do the thing?
I'll drop a divine sense, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, you can once again sense undead to the west.
Amazing. Yes, it's. Is it just one source?
It is just one source.
Sweet. Yeah, it's definitely through there, whatever it is.
All right, buckle up. We will try and sneak through this door.
Try and open the door first.
Yeah, try and open it. first.
Last attempt, I think sneaky might not be my strong suit, so I
I'm
might
not-
just stay behind a little bit.
I'm staying behind because I'm a clanky clank.
Really sneaky.
No, and you're staying with me, Loudmouth.
Og's gonna go stand by the stairs just in case anything tries to follow us down.
Nice.
Nice.
You
Well,
dig.
the Yodi squishy people, watch yourself.
Let's go.
I'll pull my shield up, Matt, and I'll have my sword in hand, and I will try and open the door with Tia.
Okay. As you creak the door open, dust and cobwebs fill this otherwise empty room.
Amazing. I will flip
Uh,
around. Yep.
Before you go in, press the digitation. Need to clean this thing a little bit to see if there's anything on the ground or on the wall that's covered by dust.
You now all look at a very clean, empty room.
Okay, there's no more markings. I think we should be safe to proceed.
Niffle, steady yourself and then pop out. It's just another room in here. There's
Is
nowhere
it
else
roomy?
to. No, it's.
Are
It's
you
a little
sure about that, though? Because why would it be a hidden compartment if they're not going to keep anything of value or any secrets in here?
bit.
In there, and
I mean, if somebody wants to help me look, you're doing really well so far with this kind of thing, Tia. Why don't you give it another bosh and I'll follow your lead.
Might be. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but it's very,
Wouldn't
I'm
Thug be
very
really-
small.
I feel like we need some of Thug. There's definitely a second secret door lock here.
Oh, yes, according to Thug's logic, when there's one secret door, there must be another one. I'd like to investigate.
I will
Yeah.
assist.
Yeah, Tia, give me an investigation check or a perception check, up to you. You can make it an advantage because Nith is helping.
Ooh. Advantage. 28.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
You are delighted to find out that Thog's reasoning is absolutely spot on, as there is indeed another secret door here.
Never, I've been here before, it shows.
the most predictable secrets ever.
I
It's
would
not my
love
fault
to
they share the same life
listen to the door to see if the thudding noise is louder.
Give me another perception check.
Proceed with caution.
Woof.
21. Okay. You you listen for a second, hoping to hear some kind of noise, thud, similar things again. For a moment, you don't, and then you just hear a very subtle shuffling noise.
I will whisper that I hear shuffling noises from there.
Nifsura will nod and post herself up on the side of the door.
Lavender, put her here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will shield up, sword ready, Matt, and I will motion for Tia to open the door, and I will hold an action to
We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, but I will just hold an action to dodge
Yeah.
while the door's
Right.
being opened.
Do you think there'll be a micro zombie reaction over there? And I'll prepare also dodge action and
Yeah.
open the door.
Okay. As you open the door, you are met with more light from a room beyond. This 15-foot high room contains the trappings of royalty. Ornate furniture, exquisite rugs and tapestries, and decorative statuary. Yeah. Everywhere you look are lit candelabras atop small tables. The beauty and the decor is undone, though, by a thick dust and cobwebs. Standing in the center of the room is a decrepit skeleton clad in tattered robes. Red pinpoints of light burn in the skeleton's eye sockets. And as you open the door, it looks up at you, tilts its head, and subtly asks, "Do I know you?"
I believe so.
Ah,
What?
forgive me, I do not remember your name.
Well, living such an old age would do that for you. You seem to have a very good skincare for all I know.
Uh, Thank you. I would have to agree, though. My memory's not what it was. Can I help in some way? How
Hearing
did
the,
I know you?
hearing there's a voice inside and not just some random creature, lavender, sort of around the corner. Like, uh, well, we've come to see you. Who is it that you might be, though? You don't look like who we arranged to see. That is a deception if you want me to roll it.
Just a very big fan of yours, and I bring up a book.
Okay. From the other room.
That I have held on myself. Yeah.
In that case, you go to raise it. There is nothing there anymore. It has disintegrated in your hands.
Oh dear.
No deception checks are necessary.
Okay.
He, I've forgotten what initially you said to him. Unfortunately, oh, you asked him who he was.
Yeah.
I am Exathanta. I don't know whether I had more names once upon a time. It's the only one I can remember.
I would like to quickly scout around the room to get any clues, gist, and ideas what kind of profession this person might have been once upon a time.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Oh my god, dear.
Bloody hell.
On fire.
Looking around the room, there are several things of note. This secret door seems to back onto a desk like study area. It itself doesn't have anything too interesting on it, but clearly once upon a time was used for writing, reading, that sort of thing. You can see that in the back of the room, amongst all of like the adornings, which clearly seem to be hoarded in here to exude some kind of like specialty, royalty, some kind of demonstration of wealth and power. In amongst it are all sorts of personal belongings, chests, piles of clothing, You do see another small bookshelf, a small chest, and to the north you see another workbench. This one seems to be more for like the arts. Small little sculptures have been carved with a knife on the desk. There's a few paints there, and on the back of the workspace there is a very fancy painting of a man standing in mist with a few dogs or wolves around him. Can't quite make it out at this range though.
Does the model on the desk resembles anything in terms of intricacy details as the one of the Strahd's castle
It does not.
downstairs?
It's very nice. There's a little statuette of what appears to try and be a wizard. There's a little statuette of a wolf, but while they're very good in terms of, better than your average person could do, they are nothing compared to the castle in terms of detail or intricacy.
I would just like to, whilst I'm sort of not the notebook that writes in itself, I want to try and get that out inconspicuously. Have it kind of behind me or to the side. So basically sneakily trying to make a sketch of that painting on the wall.
Well, all I can say is that you might have not noticed me before, although we have met, because of such a high stature person as yourself of a fine craftsman. So you most likely may not have taken of note.
I'm sorry. So we do not know each other? I'm confused.
We would know each other, but you wouldn't recognize because we didn't really meet in such a fine way that would be memorable for you.
I
So
see.
apologies.
No need to apologize. Even the more important things in my life, I'm struggling with right now. Do come in, mind the desk. No need to loiter in the doorway. I do remember some manners,
You seem to have been here an awfully long time. Do you remember how you got here?
I remember it took a while. There was a lot of traveling, but no, I'm afraid I don't. I do think maybe once upon a time I was quite the traveler, quite the adventurer. Oh, the things I could do, but my mind is not what it once was.
Well, it is something of my profession to have people's memories jogged by the things they seem to forget. May I? And she kind of gestures to his coat. Wander it over to him for me. Or what's left of it.
Be my guest if you believe it will help.
She will lean in and examine his outfit for any kind of like markings of buttons or what you call them, seals. Anything that would indicate something a bit more personal. If he's
Sigils?
allowed me to kind of pat his pockets down, I'll do that as well.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check
Okay.
or history, up to you.
Or history.
Or history.
They're both the same. Because unfortunately, it's 7.
Ah. You don't find anything on his person, unfortunately, other than these like long flowing red silk robes. Even they kind of wearing out at this point, but there's nothing of interest on him that would give you any indications on where he's from or any further details about him.
I'm sorry, I hope this isn't too forward, but you don't appear to be human or any race that I'm familiar with, and
Oh,
what are you?
I was human a long time ago. I think it was human anyway. I am long dead, I'm afraid. I think that's how I've been here for so long. I am what you folk would call a lich.
Oh,
Oh, do not be alarmed. I do know the reputation that things like me may have. There's been, well, I was about to say there's been a few scares when people saw me recently, but I suppose that wouldn't really be recently in your time frame.
what do you mean by scarce?
Well, if one sees my appearance who is not undead, they like to judge.
No, well, none of that here, right, guys? I mean, just look at Devil.
Why would they like to judge such a fine craftsman? Or artisan, to be fair.
Well, I think they just judge what they see with their eyes rather than what's inside, so to say.
How's Mordenkainen doing, Matt?
There are like tears in his eyes, and he is silent, but out of fear.
Just like,
I'm just gonna make my way over to him a minute. Do you think that would be a good time to pop him back?
yeah.
And I'll just kind of look at the rest of the group and I'll just go, do you think now would be a good time to bring him back again? Maybe he might be able to help us with a bit more of what's going on here.
We don't know if he's already come across this person, no.
What'd you say?
We don't know if he's already come across him.
Oh, okay.
Or what his attitude might be.
True.
Whereas right now he's quite friendly.
True. Alright, I'll just stand here and chill for a bit then.
Well, maybe it might be easier for you to tell us what you do remember. Do you remember why you hang around here?
Well, yes, this is my home. These are all my things. This is where I reside.
This room or this whole temple? Because it was kind of hard to find you.
No, this room, the library, I take care of as if it were my own, and the temple is, I believe it is open for all. I don't know exactly what I used to do, but I think I'm some kind of custodian or maybe a tour guide or something.
Maybe a librarian, right? With all the books?
Well, I think this knowledge, it can't all be mine. It should be shared. So I help share it.
You said that you treat it as if it were your own. Whose is it?
I I cannot remember. I did know once upon a time some wizards or something. I don't recall.
Well, perhaps you can tell us why there is all of the book titles, they are gone. Doubtful they perhaps books at all that you're guarding. Or at least can you confirm that? Or why
Oh,
they're hidden?
yes, you need the passcode to open the knowledge to see
Oh.
it.
Oh, right. Well, would you know that so that we could
Yes,
decide?
I do.
And you said you want to share the knowledge so you can tell us the passcode, right?
Yes, I I don't remember.
Ah, I thought you might.
I'm so sorry.
Does he seem like he's being honest, or is
Yeah,
he
am I
pretending to be
believing this?
dithery?
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
Hmm?
17.
Nice. He seems honestly like if you were just listening to the audio and you had a different visage in front of you, he seems like a confused old man, to be honest. There doesn't seem to be any attempt at deception, and those facial features aren't, what they would be if they were a living person. He does genuinely appear to be straining to try and remember these things, and just can't quite. It's like he's trying to grasp smoke.
Do you know who that is? And I point to the picture on the wall.
Yes, I do. I did. Uh, it, it does have the type. Yes. Here we go. He points to the bottom of the painting as this is the Dark Lord of the Mists.
Oh.
Matt?
Yeah.
Does that by any chance look like the thing that I tried to fairy fire and nearly got choked out by?
It looks very like the thing you tried to fairy fire.
Oh, wow.
Why, if would you remember why there might be a painting of this in here?
Yes. I think it was one of my hobbies or fascinations. Something I was trying to know more about, but I can't remember any of it now.
Do you have any books or notes or anything on it around here? Because our friend would also like to know a lot of information about that particular individual.
Uh, I may, but I I might. They might be password locked as well.
So, are you the only person who knew this password, or did you perhaps
Well, yes, of
record,
course.
and you didn't have a backup?
No. I'm sorry. If I could remember my old spells, I could fix what's going wrong up here as he gestures to his head. But well, I don't remember the spells to be able to remember the spells. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if this might jog your memory.
And she takes out that
book that she got a few sessions ago? Does he seem to recognise it in any way?
Oh, that's fancy.
Yes, we came across it, and I'm not too willing to part with it unless I've found its rightful owner. Anything you could do to perhaps prove it?
Prove what?
Well, do you recognize it at all?
No.
Ah, that is a shame.
That is the spell book that you pulled out, right? That we found. Huh.
Well,
Maybe just have him give it to him and have a flick through.
we don't know what it is though. Maybe not until I have had a
But
look at it.
it says on the what was the inscription on it again, Matt?
Nothing.
It was like the spells of something, wasn't it?
Nope.
So,
Uh,
no.
it was
Yeah.
this. It had inklings at all different types of knowledge. Talking about the acquisition of knowledge, how to interpret it. Basically, trying to imbue wisdom on the reader. But it is a very thick and dense book. And it's one of those things where you don't really glean much from it as you skim through.
Alright. Cool.
We still have that book?
Yeah, I've got it. That's what I'm showing him right now.
Right, the one that we wanted to read. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I could not be of more help.
I've got, on my possession, I've got a burnt book, Matt.
Yeah.
What did it look like again?
A burnt book.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Probably a burnt book.
Does it look spellcastery, or does it look like a normal book?
Well, where did you get the book?
I can't fucking remember.
He just has
Well,
one.
then I
here.
can't tell you what it is.
I think
Then
it was here. I can't remember.
if you don't make a note of these things, I
Yeah.
can't tell you where it's from.
Alright, no worries.
Note takers campaign.
Yeah, very much so.
And just. Would you like to remember who you are? Because I can have a look around there and see if there are any clues to your, past being, or are you quite happy just staying in these 2 rooms? You don't feel any need to go further?
I don't mind the space. I just want my mind restored to what it was.
You said that you go into the library as well. Do you ever go downstairs from the library?
Occasionally, yes. I walk the temple when I can, though with my mind being what it is, not for a while. Why?
2 questions. 1, why were there vampire spawn downstairs? And 2, what are the big amber sarcophagi things that talk to you?
Oh, they will have been placed here by Strahd. Yes, he does like to do that from time to time. And the amber sarcophagi, well, they are the knowledge and power that people come to seek. It's for a second you can see, like, as he begins to smile, like a flickering of this memory he once had reappears. They contain the old slivers of what once was. There's all sorts in here. All dead gods from well, back in the day, these what remains, most of them are were gods. There's some other powerful entities here that I don't know where they're from. And then, of course, the dark powers guide them all in one way or another. Easy to do with just a fragment of a fragment, eh?
What do you mean by that? A fragment of a fragment.
Well, the things that inhabit these sarcophagi are older than me by quite a bit. Dawn of time, gods fighting gods, that sort of thing. Well, these are what remains of them. Very powerful, but compared to what they once was, nothing, basically. Uh, they do what they can to tempt, to give out their powers. Um, Sometimes they give out knowledge, which is very much appreciated. That's why I'm here. That's though I can't remember any of it now. But yes, they are a very useful source of the darker things in the world.
And if they bestow a gift, what do they seek in return?
Oh, nothing most of the time. Sometimes there are downsides, side effects. Some intentional to punish those who do use their power. Some of them, they are so weak from what they were, it may not even be intentional. But usually they like to play a game with their power and knowledge. It's like a bartering system, only they're not trying to get anything themselves. They're just trying to inflict inconveniences or curses, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And you said that Strahd pops by. Are you and him friends?
Oh, no. We stayed out of each other's way. The new one, I forget her name. She has not been here yet, so I couldn't tell you much about her, but no, Strahd was. We were aware of each other, but I have little interest in his goings on, and I'm sure vice versa.
But why would he store things here? Was it just somewhere to keep them, perhaps?
I suspect to allow them to attack people like you. He does like to play his games on the travelers in Barovia.
It does seem as though it is kind of a lot of power to not have this place guarded properly so that, was it, did it become Strahd's territory in that way?
No, the Amber Temple stood long before Strahd. He cannot claim it for his own that easily. Then what is to guard against? Unfortunately, the vast majority of mortals cower in the face of the power that is here.
You
Most
don't
stay
think,
away if they even know this place exists at all.
and you don't think that the power that is held here, the old gods, is there any way that they could be, in theory, harnessed in some way by some entity?
I doubt it. There is not much to harness. don't get me wrong, some may be strong enough to survive if they ever broke free of their sarcophagi, but I suspect for the vast majority that the sarcophagi that traps them is probably what also holds together the last embers of what they once were. As I say, it has been a long time.
Well,
Um,
oh,
they said that. No, who was it? The people that we spoke to, Madam Watcher and Fog's friend. They both said that Vinvala was trying to get here, right? And she hadn't been able to get in yet. Is that right?
no. We come from Mordecai and
Yeah,
other
but
stuff.
didn't they say that Vinvala was trying to get here as well?
I don't know. I've not got that day. I'd have to look back. Well, we certainly need a way to get that password out of your deep brain memory somehow.
You said that you required a spell book, right?
No, I need one of those. One of the spells that mends your mind.
Oh, sorry. I thought because we were at a library and you were talking about spells. Sorry, I'm completely missing the point here. A spell that does what with your mind?
Fixes it.
You know, like what we did for Mordenkainen.
Oh, and that's what I can do to Mordenkainen, and I don't think will work with this entity because what I can do only works if somebody is being coerced into a state.
Well, how
Unfortunately,
do we know that he's not being controlled somehow?
well, if I do
Liches
this,
are very powerful.
I'm more than happy to try, but if I do that, then I can't do it again on Mordenkainen if we need him at some point, unless we have a unless we sleep on it.
Well, we've not had a rest in a while, so
Oh, if
seems
you
like
are tired, feel free to stay here. My humble abode. I have a bed, but I don't really need it. So
Back to the bed.
I don't want to go in that bed.
Long resting. I don't mind sleeping where, you know.
as you
But
look over to it, it too is covered in cobwebs and dust. It clearly hasn't been touched in a very long time.
Perfect. She starts making herself comfortable.
Right. Well, I mean, I will walk over to the gentleman, and if he will allow me to, I will attempt to freedom of will this creature.
Hey, read me freedom of will again.
Yeah. So, as an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer for those being coerced using your channel divinity. Each creature within 10 feet of you that is charmed or frightened repeats the saving throw, causing that condition. On a success, the effect ends and the creatures become immune to that condition for 1 hour. But it's that being coerced, the way that it's worded there, is what's.
Yeah, you use your ability, and as you say your prayer, Exithant closes his eyes for a second and seems to strain to concentrate, and then opens his eyes a few seconds later and says, "Did you do it?"
I certainly tried.
Ah, I still don't remember.
Well,
Anybody else want to have a go? I'll try anything at this point.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that as Lavender settles down on the bed, she's gonna whack out that book and start reading it.
Okay.
What do you wanted to try?
Just something to cure my mind.
I can offer some tea if that helps.
Some tea.
Yeah?
Is it magical?
Not really, but it might be calming.
I'll pass.
Okay.
I don't really taste anymore.
Oh, this one you would taste it by miles away, but okay. And I'll go next to Lavender to read the book.
Okay. Is anybody else doing anything?
I can't until I get some until I get some spell slots back. Unfortunately. But
Brooke hasn't even seen this yet. She's calmly waiting at the stairs, making sure no one's going to jump us from behind.
I did send a message to Thought that we have met a person.
Absolutely. But there was no urgency in the message.
I will send another message to say, like, please join us.
Okay. It's just, there's no urgency. You guys are fine. Okay, I could get used to this. As Thorg walks in, looks at yon skelly man. You guys just feeling bad, or do I have to do it?
no, Folk, no, stop.
Stop here. Don't worry, he's seems
What?
pretty harmless.
And she just goes, what? What's the problem? You guys haven't even, you guys look like you're settling down. You haven't even made the bed yet, animals.
No, Thug, no maiming. I know it's your favorite thing, but he's often does his, lodgings for the night, somewhere to stay and rest. We've questioned him already, and as long as, one of us stays up and keeps an eye on everything, we're gonna have a little rest for a bit.
Okay, I thought we'll take first watch then. She's not that tired.
Hey, Thug. I just want to say before we go to bed, you know what I was thinking? I'm not one for all of that religious stuff, but it'd be a pretty good teaching, that where there's one secret door, there's always another. Seems to check out.
I think they also knocked wide, so wisely. It actually looked like she'd putting some effort in. And she's going to say, yeah, I know, it's really weird. It's almost like they had the same architect on some sort of, universal level. But then again, there's gods and then there's architects.
Well, it holds a good message, when you look kind of deep inside yourself, or you look a little bit further for something, persist, and you can often find something even better on the other side, or at least a little more of a path, a journey.
As you say this, Thug's going to say, just start nodding, like, you're absolutely right. And she's just going to tap the symbol of holy symbol of Ravenguard.
Yeah, then we rested. Apart from obviously Lavender doesn't need to rest, so she just carries on reading a book.
Okay. Are you not resting at all for the long rest?
Well, her ability
yeah.
is that she can read, so I don't know if it's the same.
She has to read, do light activity, and keep watch, but she doesn't have to actually sleep.
Yeah, it's
that will
it's
be
one of
right.
the indications.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. I'm just going to say you don't have to take any perception checks for this watch. So, first, second, and third watch. Is anyone doing anything on them? Thog, are you doing anything on your watch?
Actually, yeah. Thog's gonna ask the leech a couple of questions. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Thog's gonna go up and say, I don't know if you can remember or not, but were you always from Barovia?
Where's what? Sorry.
Have you always been from Barovia?
Oh,
Or did you come from somewhere before?
I think I was somewhere else before, but I'm not sure where that was.
Fair enough. Also, what are your views on the Morning Lord?
Oh, that's the one they worship him. Yeah, don't they?
Yeah.
I do not have views as such. The gods be the gods.
Fair enough. They seem quite peaceful. You know, I've being in this land, I've met a lot of hostile undead. You know, looking around at like her reading or sleeping companions, Thog's gonna be like, well, a lot of the time I'm quite happy to live and let live. It doesn't always have to be a fight, but regardless of what particular faith one follows, as long as as long as we're all neighbours, not necessarily friends, then be and let be.
I agree. That's why I invite others to the knowledge that's here. Also, my voice is going to change slightly because it's killing me to do the same thing.
How typically undead of you. That's fine. That's all the questions. Oh yeah. How long have you been in Barovia? If you didn't come from here.
I think for as long as it's been Barovia, I think I was here shortly after Strahd, established himself. I do not know exactly. It is minimum hundreds of years, but I do not know.
No, that's absolutely fine. I just, obviously, just interested. But thank you very much. That's all Thog's going to ask. She doesn't have she's keeping an eye on more so on him than anything else. But then, as her watch comes to an end, she'll go to sleep, and as she's sleeping, anyone who either sees Thog or tries to look over her will see that she's sleeping quite lightly, with her hand using the sun sword's hilt as a pillow.
Just before you break off the conversation, he'll turn to you and say, "You don't have anything to help my mind, do you?"
So Thog's going to start. She'll turn out her pockets and make a not so much make a show, but make like a true effort to kind of there's no harm in helping somebody, and she'll dig through her pockets and do one left, do one right, and she says, "Well, to be honest with you, no, I'm and she gestures just in the general fogness of herself. I'm far more of a martial sort than I am a healer, as it were, if my attire is a hint. But I have a little bit of aid for allies, but I don't really have anything that could be called restorative to hand, unless you count holy water, but I wouldn't want to presume.
I doubt that would help. Never mind.
No problem.
Who's taking the second and third watch?
I mean, Lavender can take at least one.
Nithura will take.
I'll
So.
take one as well. I'll join Lavender on the watch.
Okay. On your watches, either or all of you, what are you doing?
You found anything interesting, Lavender?
Has she so far? Lavender's also snacking.
As I say, you will have to basically read the whole book before you glean anything from it.
Okay. No,
Okay.
nothing so far. I think it's going to take a little bit more work and big brain energy, you know?
Okay. Well, we keep reading it then. The story seems to be okay so far.
Do what, sorry?
The story content of the book seems
It's
to be okay so far.
not that type of book, dear. It's kind of more like a less fiction and more non-fiction, like how to gain knowledge, but I haven't been
I
able to
know.
wrap my head around it quite yet.
It's very interesting for me.
It is certainly unlike anything I've seen recently. I'm interested to dive into it.
Shall we continue reading it together then?
Absolutely. I've not done anything else other than that on my watch.
Okay. Nithura, are you doing anything?
Yeah, Nithura will. So Nithura will like look around the room, and take him up on his offer of anything to do with the dude in the painting, and attempt to find notes, books, papers, scrawlings, anything to do with research of that individual entity.
Okay.
And I will pick his mind while I'm doing it about what Moreau told me about how those entities are kind of what kept Strahd here, and ask if he knows more about that and what else they do other than to keep the powers here at bay.
It sounds familiar, but I do not recall. Searching around the desk around the painting, there seems to be many different sheets of notes, smaller books that you can presume some have been for reading, some have been written by him. All of them seem to have had the contents locked with the same password. The only thing you find that amongst the desk that is not locked like that
Yep.
is a small strip of parchment that just has a list of names, being Master of Hounds, Caretaker of the Domains, Dark Lord of the Mists.
And do any of those names ring with me now that I know other names with any of my previous religious readings?
The only ones you'd recognize are Dark Lord of the Mists, because that's the same as the painting, and Master of Hounds, because that's what Moreau referred to the individual in the painting as.
Okay. All right then. I will then read back through or continue reading through again the Book of Silverbis that I've got.
Okay.
Try to wrap my head around more about what this all happens, because what I'm reading, Matt, does it make sense to me or does it not? Considering my other prior religious readings, and the description within the like how it kind of plays out. Because I've read through the book once by now, right?
Right.
So like, for example, the like, am I? Does it kind of fluidly make sense in timeline wise?
With respect to what?
To
Just like
what?
self-contained within the book.
Yeah.
I don't know, Liam. Does it make sense?
All right. Okay. Um. You see, it's hard because I know things, but I want to just be like, yeah, this I'd figure this out.
Well, you know it back to front, so you can
Okay.
deduce yourself what Nithira would know from that book.
How much would I know about Shah and the
In general,
yeah?
give me a religion check.
Fuck this dice tonight. This dice can suck my dick. That would be a 9, Matt.
It's one of those subjects where you used to know a lot, but off the top of your head, without any further reading, you remember she's a twin. One of the first gods. A whole kerfuffle with Mistral, Mistra, spell plague, but details about personality and all that kind of thing is hard to say off the top of your head. The only things you can remember with absolute certainty are she is considered to be one of the more evil gods, and she would probably have a problem with your god. That's about it.
Okay. And to my knowledge, then the kerfuffle that she had, is that the only one that I know of? Because Shah seemed
With
like in regards to like with what you explained, where like she had a twin, had a bit of a kerfuffle with a twin. Um, Other than that, would I know of any other sort of like document? Like, would I know from what I've been religiously like through my religious readings growing up that like specific fights, if they involve specific deities, are kind of
with a 9, no, you can't remember off the top of your head.
aye, sweet. Then I'll just kind of flick back through it again, and I'll ask this particular individual, kind of when I get a bit frustrated, not being able to remember things. Ask our new friend, what do you know about this Linvala and her god and how they've just kind of moved in after killing Strahd? What's your take on all this?
Uh, the land seems different now, but I don't know. I was watching her for a time. I Let me roll to see if he can remember, because this is more recent stuff.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
I'm also trying to gauge. I'm also trying to gauge just how recently it seems like his memory would have gone.
You can tell it's not so much just his memory, it's more
Him.
as well processing what he does know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, he's well aware of you guys in the room right now, but you can tell if you were to leave and come back, while the memory would be there, he'd have a hard time processing it and
Yeah.
talking about it.
Okay.
Um, she seems to be the new Dark Lady, but I can't remember.
You said that you were watching her. How were you able to watch her from here if you don't leave this place?
Oh, I can see all of Barovia from time to time. I have my ways.
Do you know where she would be right now? Would you be able to see her now?
I used to be able to do that, yes. But no, my more powerful spells, I am struggling with. You can see he raises out one of his decomposed arms and concentrates really hard.
Mhm.
And after a few seconds, a small spectral mage hand appears for a few seconds,
Yeah.
begins to wave at you, and then disappears.
Okay. What is the last thing that you fluidly, definitely, 100% remember? Like, how far back can you
Oh, it's not like
get
that,
to?
I'm afraid. It's all patchy. From distant past to yesterday.
Have I felt the effects of a long rest kicking yet, Matt?
Yeah, because you were last watch.
If you're not doing anything else on your watch, then let's say yes.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as I feel the ability to, I will attempt. It's probably not going to work, but I will attempt a lesser restoration on him.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
I'm not proficient in Arcana. Does that matter?
Nope.
Okay. Fucking give me another dice. That's a 9, Matt.
Okay. You cast it on him, and you see for a second his eyes light up a bit more. Oh. Oh, I had a few memories rushing back for a second there. But they went before I could grab hold. That felt very nice.
His reaction, is it the same as Mordekainen's reaction was when I did lesser restoration on him? Was it the same sort of like spark I saw in their eyes and then slowly die
Similar.
and then
Similar, yeah.
Similar,
It's like it's the right kind of magic, but not quite
Yeah.
strong enough to
yeah.
relieve them.
I think we have to look for another way to restore his memory. Perhaps something else within this building. Perhaps one of the sarcophagi would offer him his mind back.
Well, if you're gonna make it your mission to relieve me, then I would welcome it. If there's anything I can do to assist, let me know. I would be forever grateful.
I've got 2 pops of Channel Divinity now. I can pop my hands on Mordekainen's face again and have him come back to us for an hour. But I want to do it with everybody in agreement and everybody awake. Because Mordekainen's
like-
not at strength right now, so even if he does freak out, like, Fog can grab his spaghetti
We are just
arms.
kind of like wandering aimlessly now that we're
Yeah.
inside. He could maybe point us towards
Yeah, because we get an
our
hour with
direction.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
alright, cool. I'll wait until everybody kind of wakes up and then I'll
Just restrain him so he can't do
say
anything.
to everybody, like, I think that's a good plan now to bring Mordekainen back. Maybe he can help with this. Maybe he knows what to do now that we're actually here a little bit better, now that we've explored a bit more.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Is that alright, gang?
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Well and
We can
ready.
keep him tied if we want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then, yeah. I'll do a freedom of will on Mordekainen again then and bring him back for an hour.
As you do, your holy energy washes over him, and you see the fear and the confusion disappear from his eyes once more, and takes a second to straighten his posture, compose himself. Okay, where are we? And who is that?
Don't worry. He's okay, at least for the time being. Are you okay?
I can still feel the presence in my head, the other me, but I am okay.
Good. Well, this is the Thanter. I hope I'm saying that right. He is a little bit like you, actually. You know, not all there. No offense. But he is looking for his mind back, and now that we were somewhere relatively safe, we decided to bring you back. We've traveled through the Ember Temple. We thought you might know where we were, actually, but it looks like you don't know where you are either. But perhaps we can find out more if we do travel around. You can point us in the right direction of your staff.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I'll give him the cliff notes of everything that we've gone
Yeah.
through and everywhere we've been, and what happened with Moreau and the painting, and just everything. Explain everything to him.
as you do, his eyes are darting between Exathanta and Teffel. Just like, I see. Well, so you have been through a lot, but no staff. Have you seen any indication of where it may be?
No, I have the staff right here.
No, that's just one that you found along the way.
No, we think it's
No,
isn't it? Oh fuck!
Didn't have the
Sorry.
gem.
Bollocks.
I'm sure we have an idea where it might be. You said you lost it here somewhere, right?
Yes.
It might be with the gang that's squatting downstairs.
With the
A gang?
Nothics. Yeah,
Oh,
the Nothics. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they're the Nothics.
possibly. They do like their magical items and knowledge. Have you asked our guest here if he has seen it? Or shall we say our host?
Haven't meant to ask.
Yeah. Nisira will spin on her heels and ask
we
Xananthan.
brought you back to see if perhaps you recognized him or something, but perhaps not. You can ask him yourself. Go ahead.
Oh, trust me, if I recognized him, I would be a lot more calm.
Xanathia, I don't suppose you've seen a staff lying around recently in your jaunts throughout the temple?
Oh, there are many who come here with staffs. I do not recall specifically. Anything I find that is not mine, I just throw over there. And he just gestures to his chest on the southern wall.
Oh, would you
Feel free
mind
to.
if I take a look?
Yes, it's sort of a lost and found, but of notable objects, as you could say.
I lost and found. Imagine.
Amazing. The politest of liches.
All of that death and losing the role for a lost and found box. Let's go. Right, she'll go over.
Okay. It's unlocked. Give me just a quick investigation or perception check.
Okay,
I will assist with that.
That
No,
is
I will
not
assist with that. That is good.
Is that the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
8,
Yeah.
14, yep. That's a nat 20, Matt.
Yeah. +5.
Wow. Okay. There are a lot of trinkets in here. A few shields ranging in age and ornateness. A few simple weapons. There's half a bow. Don't know where the other half is. Around it, there doesn't seem to be like any kind of organization to it, but it's a very big chest. And as you're searching through, Mordenkainen is peering over your shoulders, and you get to one point where there's 3 different staffs, all relatively simple looking. And Mordenkainen goes, "Stop that one," as he points over your shoulders to, again, a relatively simple but very new looking staff that you can pick out of the chest. And it looks like this. You can see in the subtle weaving of the wood, clearly added on afterwards, there is a small gem that seems to have the gold trim around it that kind of latches into the wood around the pinnacle of the staff.
Amazing.
May I have it?
I mean, sure thing, but do you promise that when or if you kind of, go away again, that we can take it back off of you for safety? We don't know what the other person might do.
I promise.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's his, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, she'll pass it over.
He takes it off you, gives it a once over. Says, "Oh, it seems to be in perfect shape. Thank you, friend, for retrieving it. If you don't mind," and he will subtly run his hand across the wood, and a small yellow glow covers him. A second later, he adjusts himself. Well, that's sorted. I don't think you'll be needing to aid my mind again.
That's incredible news.
Yes, well, it's a very good staff.
Well, whatever you
Yay.
just did for you, could you maybe do for our friend over here?
I could, yes.
Would you then, please?
Yes, fine. But he turns around as he begins walking over to them. If this goes poorly, I'm blaming all of you.
Well, now that you're back, I mean,
Oh, now that I'm back, Mordenkainen can save the day.
no, not at all. I mean, you can have a say. You're part of this. If you think you know better, then go ahead. Should we not? He seems to be quite friendly to us.
Yeah, he seems
He
perfectly
pauses
lovely.
for a long second before looking you dead in the eyes, Lavender, and saying, I thought I knew what was best when I came here alone. I clearly do not know what is best. And he'll turn around and he will greater restoration Exathanta.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I am back. Excellent. He stretches Excellente's long, bony hands, stretch out and recoil back, and he cricks almost every bone in his body. Well, it's been a long time since I've been able to call someone friend. You have my thanks, adventurers.
Good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
So, about that password for the books next door.
Oh, yes. It's Exathanta. It's my name.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
pretty
god!
unique.
After
For
all
God's
that,
sake!
Oh, you
you
have to
didn't
make these
even
things.
try.
You have to make these things simple to remember them. So,
Exactly. Although the other selfish just seem to have forgotten it for some reason.
yes, time can do that to you sometimes.
Do you have any suggestions of any good reads?
There is a lot in there, a lot of old spell books and foul, forgotten lore and such. I would say my small kobold friend, it may be a bit dark for your tastes, but feel free to peruse.
Dark? I do have light with me.
Uh, I'm not a very social being. Would one of you care to explain?
Oh, no worries, I'm the same.
I will explain to you.
Lavender's gonna head out into the library and start to look for books on the wolf guy, the wolf entity.
Yeah, I immediately asked. Yeah, no, because the guy
Yeah.
knows. Yeah, we were. Yeah, Master of Hounds, please tell us everything you know.
Ah, the Dark Lord, yes. It's been a while since I've looked over my things. He goes back over to his workstation. Yes. Well, I have been studying. I had been studying this figure for quite a while. Master of Hounds, Caretaker of Domains, Dark Lord of the Mists. Yes. Strahd, interestingly, was said to be the first Dark Lord. Barovia, the first domain of dread. And yet, some writings that I have found from the early days of Barovia speak of Strahd's dominion over the wolves of this land to be an effort to mimic that of the Dark Lord of the Mists. That's very intriguing, eh?
Fascinating.
He's looking at you with a massive grin on his face, like looking for the same kind of enthusiasm back.
Oh yeah, no, Nithsira's for it. Like, this is book learning and shit about stuff that she didn't know, and she's like, this is genuinely like fascinating stuff. As like a look on her face of like, go on, carry on. Like, why are you stopping talking? Tell us more
Oh,
information.
well,
the-
he's often heard and spotted in the mist, but he never seems to interact with people who cite him. As you know, other Dark Lords, they like to torture. They have their games, their musings, their land as their playthings, but this Dark Lord of the Mists seems to be a solitary one. It's assumed he is there to manage the domains because he's always spotted between them or at their edges, perhaps to keep the Dark Lords contained and even maybe assist in their constant torment, but it's unclear how he does this or what he actually does. Unfortunately, no one's gotten too close to him to be able to tell. Walking into the mists is not a good idea if you like breathing.
So there's no recollection or no sort of musings or thought process of if somebody went with if somebody went with the Dark Lord, if the Dark Lord took them, like with our friend.
Cook them.
Yeah, our friend downstairs. Sorry, I explained it to you earlier on when you were. It's okay, and I'll go back through over again what happened with Moreau downstairs.
Ah, interesting. I have never heard of such a thing. He does not interact with anyone.
Well,
To
where
to
does
to
he?
appear here and to take your friend. This is fascinating.
Well,
This is what
you
you were
say,
saying, Lavender.
sorry, you said that he flits between domains, so that means, do you mean by that there is nowhere that he would go? So say if somebody went with the Dark Lord, then where
Just
would they
us.
go?
Well, as I say, between the domains of dread because he has been spotted in the midst of all that I have records for. Uh, you name it, and he's had a presence there. Some more than others. There appears to be more records for Barovia than for other domains, but that again may be because Barovia is older, simply had more time to record his presence. But if he has taken your friend, uh, to track one in the mists is almost an impossible task. It's not like navigating a, a country or continent.
But alright, if we can't go there, then what about calling him to us?
Well, if my suspicions are correct of who this Dark Lord of the Mists is, like his role, I believe the only way you could call him to you would be to be a Dark Lord and I assume try to leave or end your torment in some way.
And who do you suspect that this individual is?
As I say, no one's interacted with them. You can't put a name to someone you've never met. He's not like the other Dark Lords who pride themselves on being the center of attention. We only call him Dark Lord because that's the role they seem to fit.
Hmm.
We actually only know that they are an individual who commands wolves or hounds and exists in the mists. That's all we have, in fact.
Hmm. Hmm. Um,
There's no legend of like an heir or like a. I'm just trying to think if Miro is the only person who has ever been taken by him.
apparently so, to Xanathar's knowledge.
Or perhaps in some way taken somewhere else.
Like transported to a different plane or realm?
In which case there would be no way for us to know how to find him. Unless, as I say, he comes to us, finds us along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Has this Dark Lord have they had interests in your friend before?
All of his life, apparently.
He seems
Interesting.
quite perturbed by their presence,
Mm-hmm.
but then walked right into it like it was nothing.
I see. Well, if this is not the first interaction they have had, then maybe your friend is okay somewhere.
Now he
I
normally.
kind of just assumed that the Dark Lord had dispatched him when you mentioned what had happened, but if they are intertwined somehow, if he's had interactions with this Dark Lord before, then maybe they are simply elsewhere right now.
And the sarcophagi around here, everything that you told us previously, is that all that you know about them, or do you have a little bit more information about them now?
Oh, I can remember lots, yes. Anything specific you'd like to know?
Well, Teffel, I'm sure that you've got a question.
Well, I've only looked like this for a number of hours. And I may have made a foolish mistake to accept an offer from one of those slivers.
Oh, it is never foolish, child. This is a place of knowledge and power, and you have claimed the power and knowledge that you sought. I congratulate you. I encourage you to find more here. Claim whatever you wish. That is the purpose of this
But
place.
but it did this to me. It seemed like a good sign.
Well, nothing is free, is it?
So
They told me it was free.
Ah. But for what power you gained, I'm sure whoever you spoke with saw this visage as inconsequential. Is this such a price to pay for whatever power you were granted?
Well, I don't know. I've not used the power yet.
Oh. Then may I say, gather more knowledge about yourself, and maybe you will find your own answers.
Hmm.
And I don't
But
suppose you. Sorry, carry on, Teffel.
but will I always look like this? Is this a permanent mark?
Oh. It is hard to say. It depends on who bestowed it upon you and what the power is, really.
How do I
These
know
things,
who bestowed it on me?
well, did they not introduce themselves?
No, although I also didn't ask.
Ah, well, that's a shame. These things, sometimes they run their course, sometimes they are permanent. It depends on whatever power runs through your veins.
As long as it doesn't get any worse, I guess.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I really do not see what the problem is.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you are a lich, so uh, maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree.
Does anyone else have any questions about my humble abode?
Not so much about your humble abode, but you mentioned last night that you watched Linvala. Do you
Do
have any?
not speak her name.
Oh,
Fool.
can they hear us?
What? Why?
I am unaware of whether she is aware of this place yet. As you may have known, Strahd, while he was the Dark Lord, had the ability to locate others and listen in when his name was mentioned. A way of keeping tabs on the land around him. If Lim, if she is now the Dark Lord, the Dark Lady, she may have gained some of this power too.
Right. Well,
I am recently restored. I would not like my first encounter with her to be any time soon. She seems a little more unpredictable than Strahd was.
Well, that's not what we heard. We heard that things have been pretty calm since she took over. At least in
Oh,
comparison to Strahd.
yes, calm. But Strahd's chaos was predictable. It was commonplace. She is not. She is different. Barovia is different. And I'm not sure what to make of it yet.
Different how? Everybody said that it feels different, but I don't.
We get the
How
sense
does it
that
feel different?
something is bubbling away under their surface, but so far nothing has come up.
Well, from what I do recall from my time of confusion, the mists, the land, they all seem very static since Strahd was killed and she declared herself Dark Lady. It's almost as if the mists themselves are unsure of how to proceed. As you know, adventurers that you are, every domain needs a Dark Lord. And if she were not the Dark Lord, she would have no power over this land. And yet she does. But if she were the true Dark Lord and Strahd gone forever, then I believe Barovia would have been dissolved and a new domain formed around Limvala herself by now. Let's pretend I didn't just say her name. And yet, Barovia stands. It's like the mists do not know what to do with her or with themselves.
Does it make a difference that Limvala is not actually her own master because she submits to another?
Possibly. Most Dark Lords do seem very self-centered and self-obsessed. May have a part to play, but I do not know. I believe it is something more. Like a... Either way, it's a path that the Dark Powers do not want to choose. So they choose nothing. Have you encountered her on your travels so far?
Oh yeah, we encountered her. Luckily, for better or worse, she's actually quite a good friend of mine. Looks like a bit sheepish at this point, but she's actually quite a good friend of mine. So, yeah, there's that. All awkwardness aside, though, there's, we saw her. She looks in good health. And just came to say hello. Strolling through the Barovian wilderness like nothing bothered her, which is the first thing that tipped me off that things had changed.
Interesting. She has not descended from Castle Ravenloft in quite a while. You must be, well, special. 'Cause she has too much going on up there, I think.
That sounds about right. And Thor's going to say this with absolutely no self-reflection whatsoever. I get called special a lot.
Yes, I can see.
So, if you've been watching her and them, what is it that they and she has been doing or plotting or planning or doing here exactly, if you know?
Her machinations are reasonably recent in the amount of time I have spent here. In my stupor, I'm not as aware as I used to be, but I take that as a good thing, for maybe if I was, she would have come poking around by now. I do not know specifically what she is up to, but I just hope it is over and done with soon, so Strahd can return and we can go back to the way things were.
What do you mean, Strahd return? He's dead.
I don't think he is.
Oh no,
He
he's
still
definitely dead. But
is.
yes, but these Dark Lords, they don't stay dead for long. The
Right.
Dark Powers do not let them off that easy.
The
And as I
fine
say,
line.
it depends, varying on how they were dispatched. But as I say, if you were gone for good, then I believe so would Barovia be.
You said that the entities and the essence of gods were held here. Is he in one of these sarcophagi? Somewhere.
Oh no. The Dark Powers are not something that can be contained here. And Strahd likely resides with them, or even within this land. I do not know. I do not know too much about the Dark Powers. They are a mysterious force, but they do have their cycles and repetitiveness. I have been here long enough to understand the cycles.
Well, then perhaps if you knew of Strahd, you might know what would his disposition be to perhaps teaming up with Lilalia or Lermvala, or the other way around.
Don't say a name.
Sorry, with her.
If if a Dark Lord could team up with anybody, they would not be a Dark Lord.
I see. Rather selfish.
Indeed.
So, is it possible that her being where she is what's stopping him from coming back?
I do not know. I don't know whether she is simply occupying the throne in the interim, or she is the reason the powers have not brought Strahd back. But as I say, from what I can tell, she does have some dominion over the land. She is both a Dark Lady and not a Dark Lady. Either way, I do not believe Strahd would return while she was here.
The
But
chances
whether
are-
he will return if she is no longer here, that I cannot say either.
That's terrifying. And then the thought saying this out loud, that's terrifying. Considering the amount of time, effort, and resources that would be devoted to removing her, if, she's saying this very tentatively, if we had to, then that could mean the immediate and very sudden, right behind us, return of Strahd when we are hurt, tired, exhausted. Which admittedly didn't go so badly last time, and we're a lot stronger than we were then. But that is a different story.
My. Sorry, go on, Matt.
No, go on.
My suspicion would also be that Linvala probably. Sorry, her.
She's just going to stroll through the door in a minute.
That she would know this and perhaps be amassing something at Castle Ravenloft to find and destroy what is left of Strahd. And perhaps we need to be helping her with that first. Because if we defeat her, before we defeat Strahd, it just means Strahd coming back whilst he's assuming at the moment he may be in some kind of hidden or weakened form. We can help her destroy him and then turn on her.
Well, if we help her destroy him, then Barovia will just pop while we're here. Am I understanding that right? And I turn to the Lich.
There is no really destroying a Dark Lord. You can kill them as many times as you like, but from what I can tell, they always seem to come back.
They're just fighting for power.
No, they are kept in the state they are by the Dark Powers. This land is Strahd's prison. The jailers do not let him free simply because he dies. That said, this situation is unprecedented. There is a pseudo-Dark Lord in a land that is not their own, and I don't know when or if the original is ever returning. So, I do not know what's going to happen either. However, as you all seem very emotionally invested in both Strahd and our new Dark Lady, I will be very interested to watch this unfold however you would like to proceed with it. I will learn a lot from any path you choose. And he's got a massive grin back on his face now.
Wow. Has anybody else got anything to probe this wonderful mind of his?
Just a steadily rising blood pressure, it's fine.
Oh, do you happen to know whoever made the model for the castle Ravenloft?
Ah, yes. Strahd used this place to design it after it granted him his vampirism. I believe that was his handiwork, or maybe one of his associates. I didn't pay too much attention. I kind of just left it how it all was when I arrived.
Didn't quite know that they were quite a craftsman. Thank you.
Indeed. Well, maybe if he does return, you could ask him for some tips.
I've actually got another question.
Yes.
Something about this entire place is off. Not your place here, this place, I mean the temple. And it's been driving me slowly mad. Because Vecna, to my knowledge, is the only god of secrets. And yet this place is devoted to a god of secrets that's not him. If you live here, do you have any knowledge about what the god that's depicted here is, or who it is? Is it another god in disguise? I mean, do you know anything?
Well, of course, Vecna is the god of secrets. This temple is... You see a momentary flash of confusion in his eyes before he says, "This temple is simply another god of secrets. They do not disclose their identity. It is a god of secrecy. Vecna has his own portfolio, his own secret keeping. They just simply do not overlap." And as he's saying this, it's Clay rattling this out to himself as he's saying it to you.
Right, but seeing that, I'll go. But surely, for a god to be devoted to, they would need to know the name, or at least the image, to be able to send the right devotion to.
Well, maybe there are two. Maybe they are one and the same and have merged over the years. I do not know. This temple is ancient, far older than Vecna's ascension. That must clearly be the reason.
Do I believe his rationing?
Go and make an insight check.
14.
He seems to believe what he's saying, despite the fact that it sounds very, rationalized out in the moment.
Right, okay. I'll just kind of look at him and I'll just be like, kind of think on it a bit more. And then I'll turn to the group, minus Sophia, minus Lavender and Mornikainen, and go, well, I suppose we best try and mosey our way on out of here then, I suppose, unless there's anything else that we need to do here. I think that's mission complete, right, Dan?
Yep, that sounds good to me. Also, I'm starting to feel a bit rough, guys, so I'm just going to step off, okay?
No worries, bud.
I look forward to listening to the rest of it.
Au revoir.
Take it
If
easy.
you have anything specific you're going to be doing, just drop us a message.
Let's just say you guys know the plan already. Her behaviour does not change wildly. She's not a kobold.
Hey, I feel being called out over here.
You'd love it.
Lavender's just in the other room looking for any books on the Dark Lord Wolf man.
Okay. As you go around the room using the passphrase to reveal the different books in here, all of their names as such, they all seem to be that of very old arcane lore, most of which kind of turns your stomach at upon light reading of the titles. Most of these books are either spell books, ancient rituals, vile forbidden lore that may or may not be true. It's stuff you've never heard of before, but it's like ancient gothic horror type stuff. Around in here, there's probably enough spell books here to contain almost every spell known to magical folk. But when it comes to specifically the Dark Lords and things like that, that's not really the kind of knowledge that is in here.
Okay. She will pop back to I've forgotten his name already.
Xenophil?
How do you say it, Matt?
Exethanta.
Exethanta. There we go. Pop back to him and she'll say, hey, you want to share this library of knowledge. What's the checkout system? Can I take a few with me, or do they have to stay here?
There is no checkout system. This place was built as a fortress of secrets and is now my fortress of knowledge. If you try and take it, the knowledge will be lost. The books destroy themselves.
Ah, I see. Well, we'll be going then. And she makes a pointed look at Tia that sort of says, shut up, don't say anything.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think it's back out now. It is mission complete, right?
Oh, you are looking to leave. Have you tried that
For the love
already?
of God.
What? We can't. What do you mean we can't? Have we tried it? No, we can.
Oh,
We're inside.
you can leave the temple. Do not worry. When I say that she has some of the abilities of a Dark Lord, it seems that, well, as she took her post, the mists drew back in. The domain is sealed the same way it is under Strahd's rule, I'm afraid.
Well, that
You're welcome to stay as long as you like here, but I do not think there is a way out of Barovia for the time being.
it shouldn't be a problem though, because our friend Thog here and her go back along.
Oh, you misunderstand me. She is not in control of the mists. That is the Dark Powers doing. That is where the Dark Lord of the Mists exists. The mists are to keep her here as much as they are to keep you.
Ah,
Well, so got out once before,
Yeah,
or we could do
yeah.
it again.
yeah, Thog got out last time. She'll be able to tell us how.
Hog will explain to you very simply that they escaped because they killed Strahd. And then remind you that Thog is not going to be harming her friends.
Um,
What about Mordenkainen?
what about Mordenkainen?
Didn't somebody say they had a way out of here? Or were they just like, we'll figure that out later?
Oh, I have many spells. My teleportation circle. I could plane shift us, but I am not more powerful than the Dark Powers. So if they are what trap us here, then we are trapped here.
Now we need to have a moral debate with Lewis.
Or, like I say, we can find a way to at least find out what she's up to.
I mean, the only way really to be able to do that is if we head over to Castle Ravenloft.
It's kind of what I'm saying,
Well, I mean, she did invite us.
right?
Nifsira's kind of grip around us. No, I haven't got my sword out, have I? Nifsira just kind of balls one fist onto her side and goes, "Yeah, let's go and say hi."
I'm just saying, what harm could it do to at least befriend her for the time being? She does rule the land. At best, she might trust us, and we can find out more. You know?
She did seem very, very confident when we met her. She did seem very, very confident. Maybe that kind of, we could use that against her.
I don't
Well,
know. What do the rest of you think?
yeah. What do the rest of you think? Are you up for a jaunt to meet her properly and have a proper reunion with her, Thog?
Well, she invited us to dinner, but if I recall, that's how Thog told us that
Oh,
Strahd
fuck! I didn't
lured
even
them
think
in.
of that!
What? Sorry.
I Thog would have told us the details of that. Hopefully that's not too metagamey.
No, Liam
uh,
didn't think of that. That's
Yeah.
ingenious. That's just twigged for me. No, because Strahd.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm a bit like,
I mean,
but do we
but
just walk into another dinner? It feels like deja vu. At least from what Fog's experience was.
Yeah, but Thog and her are friends, right, Thog? So, I mean, they seem to have a mutual respect for one another. I don't think that,
Mm,
you
do
know?
they though? Just because Thog is fiercely loyal and good-hearted doesn't mean that she is.
I mean, she seemed it when they were talking, but again,
Lots of
appearance
people
can be
can
deceiving.
seem like something. I barely know her. We met her one time, and it was a very creepy exchange.
She sounds lovely.
I honestly
Oh, fuck
I've
off.
not heard much to dissuade me from her. I've questioned the people here. They've said that she has made things relatively stable. There is
Yeah, because they're
a smelling.
scared of her. What are they gonna say?
Well, no, because they've said that she rarely comes by. They wear the colours, they say the prayers, they nod their head, and
I'm just saying
that's the status quo.
it's always better to kind of get an impression of somebody. I feel if we want to get a little bit more prepared along the way, we can have a look at some other leads, but this is our lead.
I'm just saying that it feels like we'd be walking into some kind of trap. Like it's on her turf, on her terms. I'm not saying I have a better idea, I'm just saying that we shouldn't just expect a normal dinner.
Right.
Okay, well, how about how about then we go back to that lady watcher person, Fiona, and take Mornikainen to her to show her that he's not, some. To put it in her words, Nithsira says as she looks at Mornikainen, some mad raving loony lightning bolts a fish. And then maybe, with a little bit more knowledge from her as to what the Dark Lady has been doing here, perhaps we could have a little bit more of a better plan to formulate an escape attempt. If you're disinclined to go to Castle Ravenloft, maybe we go to Fiona first and go from there.
I mean, any information is better than no information, or advice, at least. I feel like we're walking blindly somewhat.
We're walking very blind in this place. Let's put it to a
We
vote.
also have Moreau to think about, too. What if he's trapped in this plane?
Well, maybe if we, like, like our new friend here said, then maybe if Moreau's dealt with them before, then he'll come back to us again. He got out of Barovia once. Maybe that's what he's doing now. Maybe that's some kind of trade-off or something, or I don't know. But I feel like Moreau wouldn't go down that easy without a fight, especially against that thing if that thing is so interested in him. And like you said, they might be intertwined, and then I'm just out of my depth here.
I somewhat trust Moreau's intuition, although I hate to say it. I think he knew what he was doing when he walked into the mists. And regardless,
Unless he was just self-sacrificing.
Perhaps, I suppose.
To protect
but
us.
I just don't think there's a way to, not that we know of anyway. I've had a look in the libraries for any information on how to get to this in-between domain. I think perhaps, if anything, a Dark Lady might know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, if she's connected to the mists and what's around, then maybe she'll have information on this Master of Hounds. That's good.
Yeah. It can't hurt to check,
So I guess then we
hopefully.
I guess then that we go and say hi then. Right?
I guess our first priority is to get out of this temple
yeah.
unscathed. Was there anything that we wanted to revisit here, or are we good?
Well, Tevil, the only other thing I was going to ask you is if you were feeling really self-conscious about the marking that you've gotten on your face, I wouldn't mind maybe joining you if you could show me which one you touched. But if you feel like it's a defining feature, I just don't want you to feel self-conscious about it.
Well, I don't. Unless you're looking for some kind of unknown power, don't just do it just to make me feel better. Do it because it's what you really want.
Well, I can disguise myself at any time, so if it is purely appearance-based, I can hopefully do something about that.
Yeah, let's not go and talk to the random rocks again.
No?
No. That seems like a terrible idea.
I mean, Exothanter didn't seem to think they were that dangerous.
Right, he said that was okay, and I want a gift, and I think that looks really cool.
The one that I spoke to offered if I wanted to become a vampire.
Well, that...
No, it's
So
not.
has
No,
its
whatever
pros
you're
and
about to
cons.
say, no. I
And
grab hold of my
remember,
holy symbols.
we don't have any guarantee that even if you talk to the exact same one and they give you a similar offer, that you'll end up with just this facial disfigurement. I mean,
No,
it's
I guess you
not
guys are right.
like automatic. I mean, I won't stop you. You guys didn't stop me. So, knock yourself out. So far, I feel fine. I've had a rest and everything, and there seems to be no other detrimental effects. But we also are taking the word of a lich, which, I mean, it seems nice and everything, but his idea of what is a bit grim might be different from the rest of us.
That is very judgmental of you, but I won't disagree.
They're literally a skeleton.
You're literally a dragon. See, we can all be insensitive.
Would you excuse us for a moment? She says to him. And she goes, hey, can I talk to all of you guys for a second? Huddle in the corner. So. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how freaked out do you think people will be if we took him with us?
I don't think he wants to come with us.
If we took the lich with us.
I don't think he wants to come. I don't think he'd want to come with us.
You don't think so? I think he's pretty cool.
Regardless of whether he's cool or not, I don't think he wants to come with us. That's a completely different.
Alright, that's fine. I thought I would just ask. It's just rolling through it. No problem.
We could ask him.
Yeah, but also...
He said he was interested in our path and our journey. He seems to know a lot.
Right, but also, are you forgetting that we are currently carrying a shard of something very important? I wouldn't particularly want that to go into the wrong hands.
That is very, very true.
Considering what this thing may potentially be able to do, do you want to give that near a lich?
No, you're right. I was just floating.
Do you want another Vecna? Do you want Vecna 2.0 right now?
Listen, I just say don't judge a book by its cover, okay?
Do you want Vecna on steroids? Is that what you want?
Alright, let's go. Thank you for your hospitality. It was lovely. Thank you very much. And starts ushering people out the door.
You're very welcome. Again, feel free to peruse anything else or seek out your own power before you leave.
Was there... We only looked for the staff in the chest, right? Was there anything other in there?
You didn't detect magical shit.
Yeah, sure, I'll do all that then before... Sorry. But, yeah, so detect magic on the chest, like, see if there's anything of note, dish out any weapons
As
look like.
as you cast detect magic and begin having a look through, Exothanta's head slowly rotates and he starts looking at you very curiously. Can I help?
You said have a poke around. I'm poking
Yes, for the staff that belong to your friend.
around.
That is still
sorry.
all my belongings. Thank you very much.
I mistook your words. I'm very
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Last night you said that anything that wasn't yours you put in this chest.
Yes.
You said
made it
anything
sound
that you
like a lost and
find
found.
goes into this chest. You
You
didn't say
said
your
help
belongings
yourself,
were in
actually.
here.
Was
All
still
of that is correct, and now it is in my chest, and it is mine.
All right,
Amazing.
then. Fuck off.
Amazing. When we get out of earshot of the lich, I would like to ask Mordekainen about the piece of the Jatham and dagger that
Let's
we're
go
looking
out.
for. Yeah, when we're out of
Let's
earshot of
do
the
that.
lich, like as we're downstairs walking out, that's what I would like to
Don't
do.
forget there was a hidden. Wasn't this another hidden door?
Oh yeah,
that
we've
you
not been
guys
down there yet.
saw?
Let's check that out first.
Yeah, true.
Just scoot Lavender over this way. Yeah. Open that one up. Ooh.
As you open
Ooh.
up this door, there is a
Oh,
secret staircase covered in dust and cobwebs leading down to
right.
the
Wait a second. Before you guys go sneaking down there,
Mm-hmm.
don't forget that we've encountered at least 2 individuals that have lost their minds in this temple. And we don't exactly know who or what caused that to happen. I'm starting to feel like the longer that we're in here, the more we're going to give in to temptation and potentially lose our minds.
Not to put the cat amongst the pigeons here, Teffel, but are you really the one to be giving us a lecture on resisting temptation?
I was charmed.
Do I believe that?
Or something.
Are the
Go ahead and give me an
Something.
insight
I
check.
believe that they were charmed.
Teflon,
Fuck!
persuasion or deception's up to you, based on what's true.
Yes, I rolled an 8.
Tefl appears to be lying through their teeth.
Well, I might not have been charmed, but I felt a pull
You
that I
felt
couldn't
tempted,
escape.
right? You felt tempted, and we should be tempted by things, right, Teffel?
Well, I'm just saying. Look what happened when I gave in to temptation. I'm lucky I didn't lose my mind as a result of it. I've said already that I regret my decision.
I appreciate you letting us all know and talking about this, Teffel. I would like to say that I'm bolstered against such things. I've been trialed twice in this temple, and thankfully, not only do I have my resolve, but I also have hers, and I will just run like a finger around the outside of my holy symbol. And I believe that I won't fall to temptation in this place.
Okay. I'm just saying, the longer we're in here, the more that could happen to us. We don't want to get greedy. We got what we came for. But I won't stop you. I won't stand in your way.
Lavender will make the descent first. I will follow behind.
At the bottom, you find another secret door.
Oh, is there? Where?
Oh, we
There
can't
is.
see it.
Where I can't see
I
it.
think we need to move into a layer.
Technically ends on the other map. So, alright. Da, 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 da. I just drag you over to. Oh, no, I'm squishing you. Boop. Boop.
Oh. I can't see anything.
There you go.
It's a pitch dark corridor, so if you have no dark vision, you can't see.
I do have dark vision.
Mhm.
I've got dark vision out to 120 feet.
You're on the right hand side of the screen.
Yep. I'm moving my token.
You can't see anything in that corridor.
Nope. Nope.
No, we
I'm
can't.
opening and closing it. I can't see shit.
Why is that? Can you see the corridor itself?
No.
Just the door.
Just the door. Like, just the
What?
option to open it and close it.
It's telling me that you can see it.
Are you on the right map? Yeah.
Yeah. This is us right here.
Is it the right layer?
Yeah.
Can
Is
we refresh maybe?
confusing.
Do you want me to refresh my browser map?
I mean, yeah, because when I do the thing that says "look through your eyes," it works.
Okay. Just refreshing the page. Oh, we're back at the original map.
Say what?
What? No, sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's fine. Yep. Ignore me. Sorry. I thought we were back somewhere else. Ignore me entirely.
It's if you're on the right map.
Yep. No, we are. It was just I had to refresh the page.
Right.
Okay, so rubble to the right of me.
Yeah.
Here,
So
yeah?
as you come out of the bottom of here, you're basically on the ground floor again, behind the giant statue in the very center of the temple.
Nice. I'll yell up to Teffel then to say that it's okay. It's just taking us back to where we were.
It's a shortcut.
Are you all proceeding down there?
Oh, I was muted. I said, Tia, Thog, the coast is clear. Come on down.
I'm just gonna move you guys back over to the other one, just so you're all on one map.
Okay.
Modern kind of still attached to you.
No, I would have let him go free.
Okay.
I
He
didn't
immediately
say
teleports.
that, but no, I'm not keeping tied to him if he's keeping his cool.
Cool. I'll just drag you all out here. So you should be able to move on your own accord. Yeah, you find yourselves back in the center of the Amber Temple. Teffel, as you make your way around the large statue of this no-faced secret god of secrets, you look up and you see stroking the balcony towards the entrance of the temple, looking around in wonder and amazement, Limvala stands there, towering over all of you. Big grin on her face. She looks down, seeing you. Well, hello. I was wondering why you're all up here so far from nowhere, and now I see. Excellent discovery. We have a lot to talk about, it seems. And we'll end it there.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, but that tells us that she knows where we are, but not what we're doing.
Yeah, because we kept saying her fucking name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not what we're doing. She still has to come find us.
So she
like
can't
can
hear us. She can just
Yeah.
see us or know where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why it may now be better to befriend her. If she's going to follow us anyway.
I
if
mean,
we can.
I want to take the fucking arm off of her.
Well, we'll see.
If she really
Thank
wants
you very
to
much,
rip that
Matt.
arm from her. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was fantastic.
See you in a couple
Very
of
well
weeks.
done, guys.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Try not to
Fuck.
panic too much.
Okie dokie. Right,
Au revoir.
All right.
Au revoir, then,
See
folks. Have a good
ya.
one.